What's up guys, Patrick Mollis here, and today for this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 emerging backend frameworks for web development in 2020. Okay, so para sa kalaman muna ng lahat, sa web development kasi is merong iba't ibang uri ng developer. Number one dyan is si front-end developer, which is siya yung naka-assign sa graphical user interface o sa GUI nga na tinatawag natin. Or sa madaling salita, sila yung mga naka-assign sa appearance or sa design ng isang website. For example, yung Facebook, si YouTube. And then yung isa namang uri ng isa pang web developer is si backend developer, which is siya naman yung naka-assign sa processes nung front end. For example, sa Facebook, nag-like ka, nag-comment ka, nag-share ka. So, lahat ng process na yun is si back-end developer yung nagtatrabaho. Okay, then meron din tayong tinatawag na full stack developer, which is kaya niya yung both front-end and back-end. Since we have the idea na kung ano yung front-end sa back-end developer, now I will provide you the list of top emerging back-end frameworks na obviously na ginagamit ng mga full stack at ng mga back-end developer. But before we start, disclaimer lang muna na the order of the back-end framework in this video is unofficial. Pero sinisigurado ko sa inyo na lahat ng mga nasa list is the top emerging back-end framework in 2020. Number 10, Symfony. Symfony is a web application framework. So, yung Symfony is ginagamit ito to speed up yung creation ng isang website and also to speed up yung pag-maintenance ng isang website. And also, isa sa mga objective ng Symfony guys is to replace the repetitive coding task. Or sa madaling salita is tatanggalin or babawasan yung paulit-ulit natin na pagko-code during the creation of website. So ito guys yung features or yung the reasons kung bakit kailangan mong gamitin ang Symfony para sa iyong project. So number one dyan is yung high flexibility. Ang Symfony kasi guys is very flexible in a way that yung framework is well organized na kung saan is makakagawa ka ng flexible application din. Number 2 is customization. So yung Symfony kasi is punong-puno yan ng mga custom features and functionalities which is makagawa ka ng user-oriented na application. Isa sa popular website na gawa sa Symfony is yung Dailymotion. So initially, yung Dailymotion kasi is nag-start sila sa kanilang homemade framework. Okay, but then nung lumawak ng lumawak, nag-start na silang mag-migrate dito nga sa Symfony framework. So ito yung popular website na gawa sa Symfony. Number 9, Phoenix. Ang Phoenix is a web development framework which is gawa sa isang functional programming language na Elixir. So basically, ang Phoenix ay isa ding MVC pattern or sinusunod niya rin yung model controller view na pattern. So ano ba ang features ng Phoenix? So number 1 dyan is yung simplicity. So yung Phoenix framework is very easy to use and understand. Okay, for example,
although Phoenix generated that code by default, a developer can still understand what happened when a request is performed and where to perform these changes.
So number 2 is yung productivity. So doon sa official website ng Phoenix, you will find a well-crafted documentation na makakatulong sa iyo sa pagbuo ng web application gamit itong si Phoenix. Number 3, Phoenix is fast, really fast. So take a look at this example.
Yes, that's correct. You are seeing a microsecond response time.
Ito yung mga website na gawa sa Phoenix. Isa na dyan si Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is one of the leading sport news in United States. So bukod dyan, meron din si Bet365 which is the number one betting company in the world. So ito lang is ilan sa mga example na gawa sa Phoenix. Number 8, Meteor. Meteor is an isomorphic JavaScript framework which is written in Node.js. So kapag sinabi nating isomorphic, this is a universal JavaScript which can run in both client and server. So Meteor is a Node.js framework, okay, for web, for mobile, and even in desktop, used by almost 500,000 developers around the world. So ito yung mga striking features ng Meteor.js. So number 1 dyan is yung full stack solution. So pag sinabi natin full stack solution, meaning pwede natin siyang gamitin sa client side at pwede natin gamitin sa my server side. So ang Meteor.js is bundled with a built-in reactive template and automated CSS and JS minification. So meaning meron na agad siya nitong mga template na to kung gagawa ka ng front-end. So ito naman yung common website na gawa sa Meteor. So isa na dyan yung WorkPup. So WorkPup is the first applicant hiring system, okay, na gawa sa Meteor. Number 7, ASP.NET. So ASP.NET was developed by, syempre, ng Microsoft, that allowing the programmers to build a dynamic websites, application, and services. So yung ASP.NET is an open source. And then ASP.NET also implementing the MVC pattern. So ASP.NET is a language, and the same time that is platform neutral, and that is the most successful web technologies until now. So ito yung mga popular website and projects nagawa sa ASP.NET. So number 1 dyan is yung paborito nating Stack Overflow. So that is made up with ASP.NET. Syempre, bukod dyan, andyan din si Microsoft. And then, andyan din si GoDaddy and even the Dell website. So they are all built with ASP.NET framework. Number 6, Spring Boot. So Spring Boot is an open source and Java-based framework used to create a microservice. So ano naman itong microservice na tinatawag? So basically, microservice is an architecture that is used to develop and deploy services independently. So these are the following advantages of Spring Boot framework. So number 1 dyan is easy to understand and develop Spring application. Next is it will increase your productivity. And lastly, okay, it will reduce the production time or the development time. So honestly speaking guys, no, na most of the project ng Spring Boot framework is enterprise based. Ibig sabihin, no, yung mga website nila na gawa sa Spring Boot is hindi masyadong popular or hindi ganon kakilala. So, pero ito yung ilan sa mga website na gawa sa Spring Boot framework. So, una dyan is yung Mascos. So, yung Mascos website is an bentahan ng mga heavy equipment sa USA. Next is yung Allociné. So, yung Allociné is a French entertainment website for a cinema. Number 5, Laravel. So Laravel is open source PHP web framework. So the PHP Laravel is also implementing the MVC pattern, or ito nga yung model controller view. So ito yung reason guys kung bakit PHP Laravel is the best PHP framework in 2020. Number 1 dyan is yung template engine. So basically guys, yung Laravel is designed to create a simple layout with distinctive sections. So sa madaling salita, meron itong built-in lightweight na mga templates. So honestly speaking, there are no really big projects written in Laravel. So wala masyadong malalaking website na ginamit is Laravel. However, there are million of website or projects written in Laravel framework. Gaya na lang ni DeltaNet Travel, which is a tourist website in Greece. And andyan this neighborhood lender, which is a loan calculator. And My Rank, which is an online website or online learning website in India. And also guys, now according to the GitHub, so Laravel is the most popular web framework, and it is now the most popular framework worldwide. Number 4, Express.js. So Express.js, or simply as Express, this is an open source framework for Node.js. So this is the features of Express.js, or the reasons kung bakit kailangan natin itong gamitin, no? So number 1 na dyan is through Express.js, we can build a web application very fast and easy. Since sabi ko nga kanina na ang Express.js is a Node.js framework, so na-implement niya rin or nakuha niya yung ilan sa mga features nitong Node.js. So using Node.js, so yung mga function is pwede nating tawagin any part of our program. So yan yung isa sa mga features ng Express.js. And lastly, which is ito yung isa sa magandang features ng Express, which is yung ang framework na to is meron siyang sariling debugging mechanism, which is yung mismong framework is yung nagpipinpoint kung aling part ng program mo yung nagko-cause ng bugs. So gamit yon is madali lang malalaman ng programmer o ng developer kung aling program, no, aling part ng program yung kakaroon ng error or ng bugs. Ang popular website or project na gumagamit ng Express.js is yung PayPal. And aside from that, meron ding mga companies na nag-i-implement or gumagamit ng nito ng Express. Gaya na lang ni IBM at ni Accenture. Number 3, Flask. So yung Flask is a micro web framework written in Python. So Python language yung gamit dito. So Flask is considered as micro framework because it does not require us particular tools or libraries. At dahil dyan, Flask is a lightweight WSGI web framework. Kapag sinabi nating WSGI or Web Server Gateway Interface, it is described kung paano yung mga web server communicate doon sa mga web applications. So yun yung WSGI na tinatawag natin. So yung mga popular website and projects na built with Flask, nandyan is si Pinterest at saka si LinkedIn. Number 2, Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails, or simply as Rails, is a server-side web application framework which is written in Ruby language. So also, the Rails framework is an MVC framework or MVC pattern. So Ruby on Rails has a larger and friendly community. So marami diyang mga expert na developers na kung saan is pwede kang mag-ask ng issues or errors dun sa iyong program. So ibig sabihin guys na maraming gumagamit itong Ruby on Rails framework na to. So ito yung mga common features ng Ruby on Rails. So number 1 na dyan na features is yung automated testing. So yung automated testing na tinatawag is yung the Ruby on Rails framework is meron siyang sariling test, okay, na automatic niyang ginagawa doon sa naisulat mo ng code. So ito naman ang mga famous projects or website na gawa sa ROR. So number 1 na dyan is yung GitHub. So yung GitHub itself is gawa siya sa yung website ng GitHub is gawa siya sa Rails. Aside from that is yung SlideShare and also yung website ng Basecamp. So yun lang yung mga popular website na gawa sa Rails. Number 1, Django. So basically, the Django is an open source web framework which is written in Python language. And also, Django framework is implementing the MVC pattern. So ito yung mga features ng Django. Okay, kaya naman siya is naging top emerging backend framework in 2020. So ito lang yung ilan sa mga features lang, unique features. Number one is yung excellent documentation. So, doon sa official website ng Django is makita mo dun yung well-structured na documentation. So, kung ikaw is bagong programmer pa lang, no? Bago pa lang doon sa Django is hindi ka maliligaw, no? Masusundan mo yung documentation na andoon sa official website nila. Then next is Django is a Python web framework. So, alam naman natin na ang Python programming language is the most popular. So, sa ngayon, the most popular language. So, most popular siya kasi nga is napaka-basic ng syntax. Madaling aralin, madaling maintindihan. So, ito yung isang reason din kung bakit naging popular itong Django. Kasi since gumagamit siya ng Python, okay, yung coding niya is madali din lang intindihin yung framework na Django. Next feature is yung SEO or yung Search Engine Optimization. So, itong feature na to ng Django, ito yung pinakang unique, no? Ito yung pinakamagandang features ng Django, which is, ang ibig sabihin ng SEO na to is si Django, after mong ma-deploy itong web application mo is automatic yan na mag-i-implement ng SEO. Ibig sabihin, yung web application mo, after mo itong ma-deploy, ay lalabas ito sa top result ng search engine. Okay? For example, sa Google Chrome, nag-search ka, so, lalabas yung top, kasama siya, no? Yung web application mo sa top result ng search engine. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na SEO or Search Engine Optimization. And next feature is the Django is offer a high security to your web application. So sabi ko nga kanina, no, itong Django na to is this is the most popular and the most emerging backend frameworks in 2020 kasi most of the popular website today is nag-shift na, no, nag-migrate na dito sa Django framework. Ilan nga lang sa mga sikat, sa mga popular na website na nag-i-implement na ngayon ng Django framework. Number one is we have Bakit, then also the Instagram and the Mozilla, and even though the NASA website and Spotify, and of course in YouTube. So YouTube basically is written in PHP framework. But then, nung lumago ito, is start na silang mag-migrate into Python. So, and then, Django framework, yung ginagamit nila na framework. So, aside from YouTube is, we have Prezi, Dropbox, and even yung Netflix. Netflix is also using Django frameworks. So mapapansin natin, no, na doon pa lang sa mga popular website na yan, no, gumagamit na sila ng Django framework. So that makes this framework become most popular among other framework. Okay guys, that's it. So yan ang mga emerging backend frameworks na nasa aking list for this year 2020. So thank you for watching and goodbye.